Go now to dryerbuzz.com and follow at DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.
Listen, let's just do this anyway. Uh-oh, bear with me. Sorry, it had echo in my ear. I knew I could hear that sounder a little too loud. And hopefully I'm not a little too loud. Hopefully you had your headsets on. Now everybody knows you are listening to Dryer Buzz. I love when I'm out and about and I walk into a room and somebody like tries to sneak on the page or play a podcast. That's why I have that there. So I will know you are trolling. Everybody here know you're trolling. But listen, this is the best trolling you could ever do. So why don't you, let me help you go from trolling to just simply scrolling. Say hello. Hit the like button. Hit the share button so that I could express my gratitude to you for the awesome and wonderful support. Because I'm going to get my numbers. I'm going to get my numbers. But listen, go ahead and come on out in the open. Come out of the shadows. Come out of the shadows, not just on my content, but your friends' content, everybody's. Let people know. That's why y'all out there, people out there, tomorrow, well, there's no black people in the room. Because black folk got this thing in their DNA and everybody knows it. It's like, hey, it is the way it is. But I didn't mean to stop. You know what it is? I'm gonna let that stay right there, because today's title is "Wake Up Anyway." I pushed this button anyway, not knowing who was gonna listen. All I know is I need to have a conversation. After sitting here and meditating, there's some things that I need to say out loud and into the universe, because there's some things that I want to happen anyway. I want to grow my platform anyway. I want to create as many podcasts as I can anyway. Even if, like the podcast I created 10 years ago, that's over there right now going viral, gets daily comments, daily views, like as if I didn't do it 10 years ago, probably even 12 at this point. But that's all right, because there's a movie coming out about it. And she who is me, first of her name, no, I think I might have been. It's a whole bunch of us now. But anyway, well, first of her name, did this podcast interview 10, 12 years ago. Thankfully, because one, I had the reputation of getting the story out now, and this particular person, and I'm gonna drop name because I dropped game, but I'm gonna drop name in a minute. But this particular person wanted to refute a popular movie. It was a Denzel movie. It was called American Gangster, and she happened to be the widow of the notorious gangster Bumpy Johnson, and there was only one who was rocking all platforms, and the interview was given to me because I could go live right now. They sent out their press release and everybody was running to their editors and trying to get it approved. And I'm like, I can go live right now. I can go live right now today. Right? She was like, let's go. And she came, the widow of Bumpy Johnson came and literally spent the entire day with us online, going from platform to platform. Now, none of these platforms that y'all are on today were around back then. The boss platform then was, and I say boss, I mean boss, was Pal Talk. And people were like, whoa, yeah, I remember. That's where I know Dryer Buzz from. I don't even think we were Dryer Buzz at that time. Yeah, I think we were. We were. Okay. So anyway, and we were Dryer Buzz for a while at that time. So that's why I said maybe about 12 years. So, but there was Pal Talk, which was audio, video, chat rooms, and Pal Talk came along after Black Planet. So we spent some time on Black Planet. We spent some time on, I think we did run simultaneously, because when we did our podcast back then, those who had their own social networks and their own chat rooms, as well as those that were members on this particular platform, hosted the podcast. They would listen live, pretty much just like you're listening. If you're in a live environment, you're probably on Twitter, you're probably on YouTube, or you're on Facebook. Well, back then, you would have been on Black Planet, which you wouldn't have been able to really hear us on there. You'd listen on, I think, Blog Talk Radio. We did it on Blog Talk Radio. But before we went live, it was a before, during, and after. So before we went live, she took questions in the chat room, and then we went live, and then she took questions on air, thanks to her amazing PR person who was an award-winning author herself and co-authored this book called Bumpy Johnson, The Rap on My Husband. I always say it like that. And so even before, during, and even after the show, she came back on Pal Talk and took questions because this brought out all of Harlem to hear her talk about this, and we had an awesome chance to, kind of pre-promote it and then spend the day with her, and then of course, like I said, even today, and unfortunately, she has since passed. Shortly thereafter, she did. So that was one of the things that really made it go viral. Not only that, the lives that she talked about, those individuals went on to start telling their own story, coming out of the shadows, if you will. I remember there was one who wrote a book. Thank God he didn't say our name. He just called us the website. Even Frank Lucas, after she did the interview, because she was basically refuting some of the story that some of the licensing, I won't say Frank Lucas, but some of the licensing Hollywood took in order to build up the Denzel, the gangsterism of the Denzel character. And she was like, no, 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 those stories belong to other people, and that's usually what happens in when making movies. They're like, oh, let's add this in, let's add that in, because they try to give you as much context as they can around how did this person's story fit into the scheme of things. So they would show you a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and she felt so many different ways about how Bumpy's story was told and intertwined and all these others. Most people know, the movie Hoodlum, and then there was another, I think Lawrence Fishburne, that's one personality that I have not on my time blogging, only because I feel like I would get, because of his history in this industry, that's a person I think I would be starstruck. Like I wouldn't know. Of course, I'd have my awesome one or two questions because I've followed his work tremendously. And I remember in New York, I swear that was him on a motorcycle next to me leaving the theater. But anyway, I know, right? But there are other parts. He played, let's see, there was another bump. And now, for instance, and I'm talking about this anyway, simply because Forrest Whitaker is coming out in the role as Bumpy Johnson, and I just remember all the things she said. Now there's the video, the podcast I'm talking about that goes viral is because I put 10 minutes of it. At that time, you could only put 10 minutes, and I don't know why I didn't do the whole thing, break the whole thing down in a part one and a part two. And I may go back and do that. I do have the liberty to go back and do that. That's what happens when you own your stuff, right? Go get my masters. I can go pull my masters out and remix it, re-release, do like Jay-Z. Y'all are killing Jay-Z over there, y'all. Y'all are killing Jay-Z. Let me tell you something about in the DNA of black people. And I can tell you I said the DNA of everybody, but let me tell you what's in the DNA of black people. Y'all will let them make you choose sides. Like, all you got, learn how to say, it's not up for discussion. I'm trying to wait and see how this. I'm a wait person. I'm here talking about a podcast that I did 10 years. That's patience. To understand today with that podcast that I did 10, 12 years ago, right? I put it out there as one thing, and in my mind, it was going to be this and that. But you got to let stuff work its way out, right? I'm sitting here 12 years now and still saying, man, I don't know why people are going over that list, because guess what? They are listening for what they need. Y'all, we need to learn how to just I don't understand why they can, and I mean like society or these powers that be, these systems of this, that, and the other, can build up these guillotines and put our individuals that look like us in them and tell us and have us just watch these public executions. Right? We ought to know. Let me tell you, we are a gathering people, but too often we gather for the wrong thing. It's like, why not just wait on it? Why do we need to come? Why? I don't need, it's, you know what? It's just not up for discussion. I am willing to let this brother work it out. I am willing to come back 20 years from now and say, brother, you know what? That thing you did, that didn't work out. It didn't follow through, because I know you don't have on it. I know you are pressured to make a decision, take a stand, make some money, this, that, and the other. I know you got a lot on your plate right now, and I know you're making some decisions right now, because I'm going to tell you, I'm 17 years into blogging. There's some stories out there like, dang, thank God I archived my stuff, but the one thing I have learned over these past 5 years is patience. Just yesterday, I was riding down the street, and it hit me that that I didn't hurt. It's like the trauma wasn't at the forefront. I was like, wow, I just had a full on day. I just had a full on day not remembering. And then I thought about, and then of course I started remembering, and then I realized, oh wait, I'm on that countdown to the 2 year anniversary of the most traumatic days of our lives, right? And I'm just willing to give people time, because that's the one thing you can't get more of. I'm willing to let you, if it's a mistake, make it. And I'm here each and every day, 7 days a week, giving the breath of life. I'm gonna give you some hindsight. You can do what you will with it. I'm getting ready to go. I know me. Let me tell you, I'm getting ready. When I get off this podcast, I have to go and record a series of audio that somebody told me I ought to do instead of Dry Buzz some 17 years ago. Oh man, yeah, that's cool. You could do that. But you know how to do this, you know how to do that, you should do this. And this person don't even speak to me no more because I didn't understand what they were talking. I didn't understand. Just like same way there are businesses out there that are like, damn, she told us to go digital in what after Y2K, before Y2K, and we didn't do it. And now they're sitting over there like, damn, we should. It happens. That's why you have to do it anyway. You have to say it anyway. If I didn't do that interview 12 years ago without waiting on somebody to say, hey, this is something that ought to be done. Because I can't tell you how many people said, that's not going to work. Now, man, I'm sitting here now. I cannot wait for this red carpet, this premiere to happen. Because when that premiere happened, and everybody gonna want, and I know you're not gonna tell me that they didn't do their research, because she talked so much in that podcast, and I know they went down that wormhole, and I know I'm going to sit there looking at that screen. Ain't nobody going to know but me, unless you listen to the podcast, that they took into account some of the things that she said about, because there was only one place in this juncture. There's only one place to go and to get information from her perspective. Now, mind you, she was a gangster's wife. You already know there was a different perspective, okay? But the respectful thing, I remember somebody going to Frank Lucas, and rest his soul as well. He's since passed on recently, and that was another reason why this video surfaced, because he did it, and he did, of course, all these interviews leading up to the movie, which was based on his life with several liberties, apparently, alleged, not even allegedly, because he was like, because somebody went to him, well, Bumpy's wife did an interview, and y'all, I fell off my bed or out my chair when he said this, and the guy was like asking him, "Do you want to say something?" He's like, "Wait, you want me to say something against that lady?" He's like, "Man, do you know how this works?" He was like, "Who? Why are you even asking me to say something about?" And he kept saying that lady, right? He was like, "Are you crazy?" He was like, "No, I don't have nothing to say." He did not refute anything that she refuted, other refutations, okay? He was like, "No, I don't have nothing to say," because he know wait a minute, that was Bumpy's wife. You want me to say something? Get that camera out my face. But I'm sure there's somebody, I'm sure if he did, I'm sure he said something to somebody, but I think they came to an understanding that these were just liberties. Man, this should have been a buzzer to bash it. This is how I got out of bed, because I had to deal with this. But he basically, what I forget what I was going to say, because I just thought about so we talking about how to get out. Let me take a sip of this. I'm trying to take a sip too. But anyway, it's like an anyway thing. I thought about something else I was going to tell y'all. Now I'm like, I'll save that for Buzzer the Basher. Tweet me and remind me where I stopped so I can pick that up on the Buzzer the Basher podcast. But I'm excited because, like I said, another Bumpy Johnson movie is coming out. Other people, Hollywood does take some liberties. So for those of you that want to get all of your history lessons from movies, be mindful that they do take liberties and go and get it. Frank has books out there. The podcast that we did with the late Mrs. Mamie Johnson, Is actually a book. We did that based on a book that she co-wrote with a co-writer. There were other gangsters in that. One particularly is out in Vegas. He wrote a book where he called us simply that website. She told that website, but it brought him out of the shadows because she said that a lot of the liberties they took in the movie, giving trying to tell Frank Lucas's story, was actually this gentleman's story, and so then that brought him out of the shadows to know that he was remembered in her household, in her heart, for what he did with and for her husband, and so forth. So all of those things, I'd say all that to say, get out of bed anyway. Get out of bed today anyway, because it's not just about, I want you to live for the moment. I don't want you to, like when I did that podcast, I didn't know to think. I didn't know, hindsight here. I didn't know to think that, oh, that's going to be part of my history, my legacy, or this, that, the content that I was doing at the time. I was doing the content for that day, for that moment. And that's how you have to start. Otherwise, you will get overwhelmed. If you're trying to do something today because you're trying to fix something from yesterday or just imagine if today, and I felt like I didn't get the money quote or the money shot, and I lived with regret of that interview. It would be 12 years of regret for that interview. And I was like, no, I rocked that. I rocked it, and I can say I rocked it because the first thing I said to it was yes. Right? Because I could have said, oh, but I'm just, and I only do, I was like, yes, whatever, get me the yes, because I'm telling you, when I saw the press release, I think it was intentionally brought to me simply because during that time, people were trying to get the most of their story out there, and the only place to get the most of your story out there was through coming to digital, coming to bloggers, coming to coming to podcasters, because I don't know that blogging was such a thing at that time, and I was known in these chat rooms as this is the content that they listen to and have these great debates with, right? And so, but the fact that I didn't say no, because there have been times when I have been brought stuff and I will have my doubts. And I haven't written down. I'm still looking at a blank page in this journal. So let's write that down anyway, right? Sometimes you just have to say yes, especially particularly women. Sometimes you may not have it all together. It may not be the right time, right? But if you don't do it, you will have the regrets. I don't have regrets today to say, oh man, I should have had this. Now, I will tell you, I got an Angela Bassett interview out there, and I'm like, I can't even listen to it myself. I'm like that. And I still love it because it was a yes moment, because, Angela was like sitting there and I'm like, can I talk to you? And she's like, sure, come on. And I said, can I turn on my camera? And I literally have a little digital camera. I didn't have a camera crew because I'm going to tell you, I was just, and I love how these most amazing moments happen after being dissed by somebody else. Like, I really wanted to turn my camera. I think before that, I remember I had just gone to one of the galas. Atlanta is the place to come and have a gala, right? All the hotels and things like that. Susan Taylor had, not dropping names, but dropping game. Susan Taylor did a talk here, and everybody loves Susan Taylor. Susan Taylor used to be, and probably, I don't know if she still is, but she used to be like the face of Essence magazine. This was the sister that had the cascading braids. She was the woman of our generation. Everybody wanted to have the cascading braids, the edges falling off your head, all that kind of stuff, right? So she was a woman of, and probably one of the reasons that a lot of people don't have edges. But anyway, I wasn't supposed to say that. Okay, but anyway, but she is, but at the same time, she's the reason a lot of women discovered their brilliance, especially through Essence magazine. And then she went on to do this mentoring program, amazing mentoring program that connects a lot of mentoring programs. They funnel a lot of the funding and all that kind of stuff. So she was a speaker and this out there on YouTube as well, something else that goes viral periodically. Because that's what I did over this time, capture this content. Anyway, I capture content anyway, even though during that time I had to stand next to somebody who had a full-on camera crew. But what I knew is the person with the full-on camera crew, they were only going to be able to put like 8 seconds of stuff or 8 lines. I used to This is the formula. I knew they were only going to give you 8 lines of text or 8 seconds of video or audio, right? And my goal was to do more, give you the full story, as much of the story as possible. So I went to the gala, and the PR person who put me on everything. I didn't just roll. Sometimes some of this stuff I did roll up rogue, and then I realized, oh wait, I want to get kicked out. So let me find the PR people. And so I did find the PR people, and there were 2 or 3 that were like, oh yeah, we need that digital, because digital. They understood that digital was going to be a thing. They understood that. The reason why they understood it, because they could then go get that coverage and say to the clients, hey, here's the coverage we got, and got them more money than getting them on the local news or a line here too in the newspapers. Like, wait, this person published 50 photos at this event and it went viral, or this person published this audio. It was the beginning of things, right? And so Susan Taylor was a guest speaker at this event, and she talked about how digital was going to be the thing, and Essence was going to do this, and social media was going to do that, and all this kind of stuff. And so after the interview, now mind you, I filmed the whole thing on my little digital camera, set it right there on the table. We go look at the video. I set it right there on the table while I ate that grandiose chicken dinner, chicken lunch, right? Because you know how galas work, right? And then after the thing, she did a book signing. So I'm waiting patiently on the book signing, and I'm supposed to get a few minutes with her, whatnot. She dissed my camera, y'all. She did. She was like, where's your kid? She looked at me. I'm like, she just did a talk on being mindful and respectful of social media, but then turned to me when I got ready to do my, and where's your camera crew? And I'm like, I don't have a camera crew. It's me and my camera. And she made me wait so long till I gave up. I was like, oh, no, okay, whatever. So I was like, well, that's all right, because I got the whole speech at the dinner, right? So I went on uploading. Back then it took 2 days to upload video on YouTube. I went on uploaded my video on YouTube and went viral. So you do it anyway. Do it anyway. People are not going to be ready. You might not be ready. But the thing that makes us, let me tell you, there's a job that you want out there. You keep looking at the job description and it's talking over your head. It's saying all this stuff. And you feel like you can't do it. Let me tell you, apply for it anyway. Because the person that's going to interview you, they don't know what the job is for anyway. They don't understand the job description either, right? But go in there and talk. Listen, you got to say yes. You got to do it anyway. You got to wake up anyway. There might be all kind of stuff that's supposed to happen today, honey. It's after the holidays. People getting back in the office. People realizing you owe them money. Okay, people realizing you got into a place you're not supposed to be. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. I posted that stuff anyway. But I went on. What I love is while she dissed the camera, I then went on to this other event, which was called My Black is Beautiful. Is that also Essence? Who did? I forget who did My Black is Beautiful. It's out there, and it happened, and I was, now mind you, I felt a little intimidated with the little digital camera. And you go back and look at some of the earlier YouTube videos, we only had about 2 to 4 megapixels, right? There's one video I have out there that went absolutely viral around the nation. It was a police story, and literally I think I had like 2 megapixels on the camera, but it went international simply because of something that happened in Atlanta. And they internationally, all around the world, they can't believe that black people had that kind of problem in Atlanta, of all places, the birthplace of Dr. King. And they're like, but wait, because everybody around the world is trying to surpass the dream that black people live in America, not knowing, that some of us don't even realize how good we got it anyway. And they could not believe that this happens. Like, wait, in a town, in a place where there's a black police chief, there's a black mayor, we had all the ambassadors, all the civil rights people. This happened in Atlanta. Nobody in around the world could believe that this thing happened with the police force. I'm not going to bring all that up. But anyway, they couldn't believe it. So it made the front page, and they used the YouTube video. And it took me 2 days because we didn't have the technology we have today. It took me 2 days to find somebody to translate the story that was on the front page of this newspaper. And that's what the story was, that they could not believe, because in their country, in this little country, they were soaking up every accomplishment that African Americans, black people, were doing in America, because they were going to be, they knew that the success we have here meant that their future was going to be bright if they just do what we do. And that was a setback for them. They were like, wait. And then the question was, how did we over here let this happen, right? When we have been elected to all these different, this was before Obama and all, this was decade 12 years ago. They just could not believe it in these other countries because they were using our success here as a model all over the world. All over the world, we are seen as people who surpass the oppressor and live next door to them to that point, right? So when they saw this happen, they just could not believe it. So you got to say yes. Let me write that down. You got to say yes on you anyway. So, like I said, I was feeling bad because, like, whoa, like, I don't have a camera crew. But then I'm sitting there, I walk into this room, and it backstage. I get taken backstage at this event. I'm credentialed, and again, it's an event. Not a lot of press showing up for. So hey, the digital woman is here, and so they're like, oh, okay, you can hang out backstage. Backstage, let me tell you what was going on backstage. Backstage, it was Angela Bassett, Hill Harper, Kendrick, and the family. Is that how to go? Kendrick and the family, got to know them really well. God, I cannot remember Angela. Somebody please tell me her name, and cause she's absolutely awesome. She was loud, and you're gonna hear her all over that video. I was talking about regrets because one thing I should have had, not another camera, and that's still to this day, trying to work out my audio only because I don't like having to carry all this stuff. But I could really have. That's probably one. If I have a regret of some content, it's that Angela Bassett one because I can't share it. I don't share it as much because what Angela said in that time is still very prevalent to this day. And if more people had heard it, if because even if you think about like what Monique said about Netflix, Angela said about Hollywood, right? And if I would share that video, I could validate for you because Monique don't need validation. Monique was right. Everybody got a good Netflix deal after Monique blew the whistle. Because if Monique had not blown the whistle, Netflix would not be out there writing the checks that they write. Don't get it twisted, right? If Angela hadn't said what she said, Hollywood probably wouldn't be in Atlanta. Certainly wouldn't be writing checks. But see, we have short memory, and I'm just watching y'all and how y'all apply your short memory to Jay-Z. People out there really writing articles and stuff saying, okay, it's time for us to dismiss all the people he got out of prison because he done said that if they don't have a dad, they're probably going to challenge authority, right? That 10-second of clip when Jay-Z spent the entire day online on this panel. It was a live thing, right? Sometimes we have to stop taking stuff out and you can take it out of context. You can take 10 seconds. I wish you would, please. Take something take a gaffe I just had or something I just said and make it go viral. Because one thing I do know, when things go viral, those who are legitimate, they go looking for it. They go looking for that, try to put that puzzle piece back together. I'm just saying, let's just wait. People keep asking me, you got a comment on Jay-Z? No, I can wait. I need to wait. I don't know how to respond to what's going on. But what I do know, what looks to me is, damn, we're in a whole other generation. Y'all still trying to pit one brother against another? Because I know there's a construct in America that no one shall excite the Negro. I mean, that's somewhere etched in stone. It's literally like somewhere etched in stone. I mean, we went through a whole decade, if not 2 decades, of assassination of people who excited Negroes. So I ain't trying to let y'all assassinate. And we only assassinate the character, even though some people are still dying. But I'm just not gonna. I don't want to come to that public. I don't want to attend the public execution. I don't. And I know I'm part of the people that takes the narrative to the public. But my narrative right now is let's just wait. The football season ain't even started. Y'all don't even know how Jay-Z could have a stadium. And I don't know why he don't have a stadium. Why he probably hadn't even thought, let me go build a stadium. Let me tell you, because building a ballpark is the most, honey, let me tell you. I live in a city where they have moved an entire street. They have corded off a whole HBCU for a stadium. And now the man done raised $17 million and about to get a park. And let me tell you, there's no more land in this city. Well, there's still a lot of land in this city. Apparently, he don't want that because it doesn't. That land does not infringe on enough people. And I'm still asking myself: does Arthur Blank is he really this worthy, or does he have a vengeance? Because I mean, if he's a native, he grew up knowing that in the city of Atlanta, a black man had the best view on a hill, owned a piece of land that was on a hill, and they keep cutting into that hill, and now they want to go take all these hills out and make a park and call it something. I know. I said I was gonna wait on the Jay-Z. I'm gonna wait on the Arthur Blank. I'm gonna wait. But I'm just saying this is what it looks like at face value. But I'll wait. I'll wait. But I mean, and I have waited. I waited all through the building of the stadium. I waited all through the fact that the same footprint you have there, you could have had on the other side of the street, down the street, up the street, around. You could have put that stadium over there in the Gulch, but you wanted to put it there where the churches existed. But now here they come. Oh, well, the Gulch is like across the street, is worthy of development. We can't have, or you can put develop, because I thought maybe it was just a hole and it was gonna fall in. That's why the stadium couldn't go over there in this park and all this kind of stuff. That's why things keep going wrong. That's why when he went down there, stepped on that field, that whole 28-3 thing happened. He put his jacket. I watched him. Y'all was watching the game. I was watching him up there in his booth, put his jacket on, heading down to that field. Man put his foot on the field. And next thing you know, the skull. I just remember Matt Ryan's face like, what just happened? I'm just saying. Maybe you should go back over there. Maybe you should do it anyway. I don't care if you're superstitious or not. I don't care what you subscribe to. Maybe anyway, you ought to go into that stadium and find the part where that pulpit used to be, or that where you drain the holy water out the baptismal pool. Maybe you ought to just mark the spot. I don't know, because apparently they want an amazing season this year. I put on, and funny, I don't have my red hair no more. This might be, I don't know. I'm willing to wait. Write that down. I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait. One thing I have learned, and I think I started to say this early over the past 5 years, is patience. I'm still going to talk plenty mess and game. I mean, that's my blogger. That's what I do. Call out the obvious, state the truth, and with a little bit of honesty and some transparency. Oh, but anyway, I went on to do this Angela interview, and I'm like, I can't even watch it now. I'm like, dang, if I had a mic, because I couldn't get homegirl, the other girl. She was so loud, just like she's loud in a movie. She's loud in person. And it was a fun day backstage with them. And if you want to watch the video when they went on stage, it was the most amazing. I mean, we're talking about a stage with Angela Bassett, Hill Harper, Kendrick, the family, and it was somebody else. And they still do this. Apparently, this thing is on tour still somewhere, and there's still great conversations. But having a life of archiving that, and I did it anyway, even though there was no one to say. There were plenty of people to say no. I still get no's each and every day. I got a no 5 minutes ago before I went live. But I had a whole bunch of yeses. It's like, because the confidence. Oh, you believe in this. People have said to me, oh, you really believe in this. And that's how you get it. That's where the anyway comes. Somebody's going to see your belief, y'all. Somebody, and see, I wanted to look at y'all when I said that I had a different thing on. Let me take that off so we can go back to your original, how to get out of bed. But I wanted to do it anyway. And there have been times when I have to tell myself, anyway, do it anyway. Go into your confidence corner. You guys, we've done a podcast talking about how to create your confidence corner. Perhaps it's where you go get a manicure, do your hair, your bio. Go out there and read your bio. I was watching a video. Somebody shared a memory, and I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, whoa, that's me. Listen to what people are saying. Hopefully they're not saying a bunch of bad stuff about you, but do it anyway. I'm just telling you, anyway is a thing. Anyways, go get dressed anyway, okay? There are people out there that are mixing plaid with paisley. They do it anyway. And I see them walking down the street. I saw this little girl yesterday. Her dad picked her up from school daycare, and they were walking. And there's a daycare. They were walking down the street. He was walking. He had the son on his shoulder, and the little girl went by the hand, and she was just prancing. And you could tell that was a day where he was like, "I'm not fighting what she want to wear." Honey, she had on this baseball. She had on a pink and purple baseball hat, a white tutu, and some cowboy boots. And she was skipping her little behind on down that street. I'm like, do it anyway, girl. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. I mean, she was just a skipping. I'm like, because that was not what they wanted her to wear to school. And I'm like, honey, go ahead, girl. And I'm like, and I'm sitting there, and here I am, because you know how we don't like, I'm thinking like, well, maybe it was a dress up day, maybe it was show and tell. I'm like, no, she just free to be. Listen, write that down. Free to be. We all want to be free. We all want to experience that free to be. Find your free to be. If it's not today, don't worry. Don't go. Look, put that FOMO to the side. Okay. You had to come. You can't. You had to go press it. Somebody sent me a picture. One of the news veterans sent me inbox because y'all got to understand what I do. There's an industry trying to get to this point. There's an industry. There are people in news and journalism that want to walk into their editor's office and to be able to say, hey, I want to do a story on this, and have them not look at them strange. There are people out there who legit, as some people say, and they want to get paid for doing certain things. And most of the stuff that I have that absolutely went viral, they went into the office trying to be able to tell those stories, and they were told no. I'm telling you, I got the video out there where I sat and listened to them. I went to a conversation with a number of our pioneering news veterans and listened to them and talk about the stories. Most of y'all don't know that. They can't tell the same stories about white males that they do about black males. They just can't. They've tried and got fired, right? They've tried to do fair and balanced. There's no such thing. So I got an inbox about the convention, the journalism convention just happened. And so I was sent this picture about all of these anchor women showing up at this convention with their natural hair. Now, mind you, they can't go back and get on air like that. But he sent me this picture, and he said, looks like more and more, in journalism rocking it. Because, I'm Dryer Buzz, right? And I can't, and the thing about it is, I can't publish it. And I said to him, I can't post it because many of them, they're at the convention. When they go back, they're going to have to press that out. That's the question that should have been asked at the convention. Why are they still having to press their hair out? Why are we still getting the stories about anchor women wearing their natural? Why is it still a story of black women wearing their natural hair? I have had, you looking at my one. Well, actually, I'm pressed at this point because I'm like, I want to try some body. I want to try some stuff. I want to be free to be, and free to be means I could relax. I could go back to my return to natural. I could color my hair, cut my hair. That's one of the reasons why I am not in certain segments. But he was so proud to see these beautiful black women and all of them in their natural hair. And I didn't mean to rain on the parade, but I said, let's follow them and see how they return to the airwaves. And hopefully they can return to the airwaves as beautiful as they are at this convention. And I hadn't heard anything. I'm waiting. In fact, I'm when I get done with this, I'm gonna go and pull that up, and I'm gonna go online. I'm going to the Facebook pages because I think in the caption they may have mentioned them. But I remember watching the journalism convention. Much of the panels aired online. Oh, it's Tamara Hall. It's her show. Her show started this week. Oh my God, did we miss it? I think Tamron Hall. No, 9/9. Tamron Hall returns to television 9/9/19. Ninth. Monday. Tamron show starts Monday. Okay. Oh my God, I thought we missed it. Well, Tamron, while at the journalism convention, it's a black journalist convention, National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ is what they say. But they had their convention, and I got a chance to watch a one-on-one with Tamron Hall. And the women in the audience, men, I think it was men and women in the audience. I don't know if it was, I don't remember seeing a lot of men in the audience. I gotta remember. But the women, well, the questions during the Q&A, um, I remember some of the questions that they were asking, and this lets you know that these things are still going on in these newsrooms. When we are, I'm trying to think. Well, in my day, we had the first black women on air, and when I was a teenager, a young person, we had the first black women on air, and that was Oprah, Gail, Monica Kaufman, Angela, Angela. I know a lot. I know so many Angelas. Good gracious. Angela. I'm trying to think of her name because the way she said it, because she actually did content for Dryer Buzz, and I think she was out of, I want to say New York or Chicago, but she's on the West Coast now. She actually had the first program that TMZ is kind of modeled after. She did that. She launched a program prior to TMZ, and we carried her content at Dryer Buzz. So back in the day, if you went to Dryer Buzz, you would be able to watch a program like TMZ. And where she talked about what was going on in Hollywood and our celebrities. A lot of viral coverage over the Michael Jackson thing because she actually recorded in from the law office of Michael Jackson's attorneys. So she always had Mark Garagos and all them. So she always had Mark Garagos represents everybody, but she always had the scoop and so forth. But I just anyway, do it anyway. Do it. Show up anyway. Show up anyway. You may not. You're not. Look, can I just tell you, more often than not? Let me check the time on here. 42. We're not even at 45 yet. More often than not, you're not going to be fully prepared. I just told my daughters, I was like, hey, register for this. It's free. They've got one. I just found out there's one tonight. So I'm going to go to the one tonight, and I'm going to go to the one. It's like there's free workshops happening all over the city. Facebook is now back out on their tour, these Facebook events. If you guys haven't seen the ads on your timeline, but Facebook does these community boosts, these trainings. They show up in the community and they talk about business because a lot of people are trying to figure out the business aspect and connecting it digitally online. A lot of people are going online and making a lot of money and realizing that, they need to be a business. They need to have this, that, and the other. I went last year and it was absolutely awesome and amazing. And so I told my daughter, who has an awesome business and doing some amazing things right now, go to this. And I'm going to go. But then I found out there's also one tonight with the Urban League that's actually in, didn't get a chance to hit the share button. I will hit the share button after I get out because I jumped right on here. But the Urban League is hosting one tonight. And I think it's going to be a shorter, condensed version because the actual Facebook one is kind of an all day from 9 to 4. And it includes lunch and all that stuff and amazing workshops. But there's a condensed version, looks like tonight. And I just happened to see it because I was searching for the registration confirmation, and I saw when I searched for it that there were other entities that they are doing them through. And I tell you guys all the time that you need to be associated. Let me write that down. Everything I just talked about is I talked about the journalism associations. Even though I'm a blogger, they've oftentimes said, hey, you need to join press associations. There's several different, of course you have your mainstream, then you have your niche groups, your enclaves, all the different boxes. I could go join the one for being African American, the one for being female, woman, and then mainstream stuff. Find your industry. Every industry has an association. If you feel like you're not getting enough information, go and join something. And guess what? You don't even have to join. Most of these things have a non-member option, right? So normally, usually in February, I usually look at, okay, what association do I want to be a part of? And this is what, and I usually go and evaluate. Okay, well, I joined this. What did I get out of it? Measurement, y'all. Measure. You need to measure. Like when I say I'm waiting on the Jay-Z thing, well, hell, football season ain't started yet. I need more to measure. So I need to say it's not up for discussion. Write that down. Up for discussion. We did a podcast. If you want to know what that means, we did a podcast on that should be your talking point. Learn when to say something is up for discussion or not up for discussion. We spend too much time talking about stuff that ain't up for discussion. I posted a video. Oprah did a video the other day talking about, because everybody was like, "Ooh, Oprah put Gail on the cover with her," and so Oprah did a video talking about why she was always on the cover of Oprah magazine. And apparently she's being bullied as always. So she's answering to this conversation that's out there. And I'm write that down, because that's what it is. Bullying. There's a lot of bullying that happens, and that malice. Write that down. Intent, and malice. I'm gonna leave that intent. I'm gonna stop at intent in my word cloud. Those of you taking copious notes, good for you. I ain't that smart. I'm doing word cloud. But Oprah did this video, which lets you know, because people keep saying, drivers, why do you keep saying this stuff is going on with Oprah? It's like, because I'm watching it. I see it, and I see it from a different. I'm not the consumer, so I see these things going on. And when something becomes up for discussion, that means that it's in response to. She is responding to. And it's a very casual. It's what they try to make it look like a little casual video, like a behind the scenes while they are shooting the cover. This was a little snippet that she stops and speaks into the camera while it looked like Gail was in the makeup chair, so it may have been that particular one. And she proceeds to explain why she is always on the cover, and she does. And she said that when they launched the magazine, but she kept saying they. She kept saying they, and I'm like, well, who is they? I want her to. That's the master class. I want to know Oprah's they. Who are they? Who is it that went to Oprah and said, "Woman, you got the best content ever"? I know I sounded like Sidney Poitier when I said that, because she loves Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier, who I want to know. I'm like, I want to know to this day how much Sidney Poitier, who was also Birds of a Feather with Bill Cosby and Epstein and all that. And I'm not saying the man knew Epstein. All I know is Bill Cosby and Epstein lived on the same block. You ain't gonna tell me Bill Cosby ain't went to the billionaires party. Well, Bill Cosby's up in prison. Epstein went to prison. Epstein committed suicide. Bill Cosby up in there running things like the gangster he really truly is. Don't act like Bill Cosby ain't from them streets. Okay, y'all saw Fat Albert. If you a kid out there, you an adult out there, and you didn't watch Fat Albert, you know Bill Cosby is gangster, because all that gangsterness came through Fat Albert, right? Okay, I'm just saying, we'll go watch Fat Albert, and you get some more of this stuff. Anyway, don't Oprah, get back, Oprah. Okay, so Oprah. So Oprah proceeds to speak into the camera about being on the cover of her magazine, and she said, well, they wanted to call it Spirit, and she's like, nobody's gonna read that, and they wanted to do this and they wanted to do that. So she goes on to tell, and this is a master class, because I'm like, wait, I got a magazine. Let me figure this out, because I used to think about, but maybe I need to be on the cover. And I'm like, I didn't want to be on the cover. I'm like, I don't like putting on makeup. I don't like combing my hair. I like sitting here doing podcasts. I don't want to be on the cover. So I went and did a photo shoot. I'm like, okay, that picture right there y'all looking at. If you catching this on live, right? All those pictures I'm putting on there, I hired a photographer. Come and follow me for a day. I'm telling you, one of the drivers, how you get the reason why I don't have to use all selfies, because I hired a photographer. Come and follow me. I'm gonna go to the barbershop, go get my makeup done. I'm gonna go pick out a wardrobe. We're gonna go over to shout out to the Hammond's house. They were like, yeah, you can take a picture, just blur it. Sorry y'all, threw my microphone. You just blur, just do this, do that. Sure, do your photo shoot. And the photographer followed me and caught all these amazing shots. They even caught the side eye, right? And it was like, wait, do that again. And I don't know who I was side eyeing, but that side eye shot, that was real. All that was candid, right? There was a pose and there was unposed. And the ones that were unposed ended up being some of the best expressive photos. Like that one right there. That's me. I was just walking. I was walking. She caught that. I didn't pose. That's not a pose for those of y'all looking live on the screen. I didn't pose that. She caught me. I was walking, trying to walk through some leaves and not fall on my behind, right? Because we were taking some shots out in these beautiful trees. And I thought, oh, that's going to be a nice summary photo, and I liked it, right? So, and it's funny because all the shots that was photoshopped and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, no, I really like these. There was this one and a couple others. Like that's really, and usually when people ask me to send a headshot, they want the side eye one, or they want the one where I'm giving like the dead on eye, because you know how I love eye contact, right? But anyway, Oprah. So Oprah goes on to explain that she kept saying they wanted this, and I'm pretty sure she was talking about the investors, and those who made up the first body of control at O Magazine. They wanted. She said one of the reasons she was on the cover is because it was so hard. It's hard enough. One, they did the magazine anyway. They didn't do the magazine knowing that it would last this long. They just did it anyway. Let's do it for now. Let's do this for now. And they didn't want to have to every month find a celebrity, because when you do that, you got to book that so far in advance. Like people, magazines already know who's on, and they probably already shot them. I'm in Atlanta. Have y'all not driven around and seen all these houses already? Was this summer decorated for Christmas, for all the Christmas movies they were filming that's going to start airing probably today? Okay, on what is it, Lifetime and We Network. Well, no, I think We has destroyed itself. But anyway, with reality TV. But all that, everybody already knows who's on the cover for the next 3 to 6 months. So Oprah, Oprah got them to say, I'll just do the cover. I don't want it. We're going to run out of celebrities if this thing lasts. If we start it anyway and it lasts, we're going to run out of celebrities, right? It may not be a hot pop. And then on top of that, imagine if you had a celebrity on the cover today and then they do something controversial going to prison tomorrow. Oprah got caught up like that. Remember she did that guy in that book club, in her book club, and then he ended up being a Book of Lies? Okay, so she was kind of burnt out on celebrities. She was like, "No, we're gonna do it differently. We're gonna do it differently, and we're gonna put me on the cover anyway." And because doing a photo shoot, I mean, that's a lot. You got to hire a lot of people to do a cover photo shoot. Go look at this video. Look around. Look behind. Look what's going on behind Oprah. The hair people, the makeup people, the camera. You hire a photographer. Man, they come with somebody got to work the lights. They got an intern. They got this, that, and the other. It's an all-day process, and it costs more than what y'all out there. I need a referral. Do not ask me for a photography referral, because I only refer them to people who got budgets. Okay? Y'all out there, man, I need somebody that's not going to break the budget. Well, what is your budget? Pay somebody, people. And this was a friend of mine. I'm like, girl, here, take this money. She's like, girl, no, take this money. Because I want to own my pictures and I want to use them forever. And I don't want, we might fall out. We might fall out when we get old, and you be out there trying to, I'm like, no, I need all my pictures. I'm like, I need contractual. We need a contract. Cause we might fall out. I might find out something about you. You find out something about me. And people are funny when when we start collaborating, and I always tell them, I'm not trying to be friends. I don't need any friends. But I do need some good people to collaborate with. I got a really good friend. People are like, man, that's a real name to drop. I can't believe y'all are friends. I can't believe we're friends either. But we're friends because I don't ask for nothing. People are like, well, can you ask them? Nope. I don't ask them nothing. I don't ask nothing. I just wait until they offer. And when they get in a good mood and they were like, let me do this for Dryer Buzz. And be like, thank you. And because let me tell you, somebody's out there trying to bless you anyway. But because of who you are, what you've done, your reputation, that's what it's about. You either are the yes people or the regret people. Which are you? That's your exercise for today. Are you the yes or are you the regrets? I'm sitting here. I just was able to tell y'all. I was able to give y'all a whole 54 minutes of stuff. And I think the only regret I had was not knowing how to plug that microphone into that camera when I interviewed Angela Bassett some umpteen years ago. Because if I had great audio on that video, y'all would not have come at. I'm sorry, Monique. If I had great audio on that video, I could have played. I would have shared that video and not let y'all dog Monique out the way y'all did. And Monique was just talking about Netflix when Angela Bassett said the very same thing about the entire Hollywood. And she even said, go look on Netflix, pull up those movie posters and see how they do black people. Which is why the body of work that Angela Bassett does is what it is, because she goes in and she demands a certain amount of respect that most actresses don't. There's another actress, she said yes to everything. She got a full on body of work. Ain't nobody out there watching it. I'm not saying her name, but I'm like, cause you ain't watching her. She done had television show after television show, movie after movie. Ain't nobody watching that because she said yes, she'll do this and yes, she'll do that. There's one particular movie she loved. I saw this. I passed by this dance studio the other day, and I was like, oh man, it's a movie about that. And I was like, let me watch that because it's a nice, good-hearted movie. But then the regrets came in. I was like, oh, but she was in this and that. She's the reason that movie did this. She's the reason they think this about black women. She did this. She got regrets. But hopefully she's not living with those, because I'm not trying to have anybody have depression. That's your yesterday, but see, that's her yesterday. That's her today. It's gonna be her tomorrow. That's why we're not gonna say her name, because that's her. Because we can always say, well, Angela not gonna do it. Monique is not gonna do it. Monique then went out there and got all these people all this money. Everybody like, no, that wasn't the hell. It wasn't Monique. Cause honey, one of the sites got a whole extra check. One of the sites negotiations fixed itself real quick. Her specials on that, Dave Chappelle, all them. People were like, well, Monique ain't did that. Damn, she said she was blacklisted. How she gonna do something? And she still did. She's still selling out. But anyway, even I'm not even invited to the movie premiere no more. They were like, "Oh no, scratch her off. She Team Monique. She can't come here. She trying to make us do quality programming. Like she gonna ask don't put her on the second line on the record. Put her down there just with the audio, with the video. No questions, right? They were like, drivers, can you come and cover this? You want credentials? No, you're not sticking me down there where I can't interview. They mad because I asked David Yellow. I am going to see that movie though, because I want to see a time travel movie. Even though my daughter tried to give me the spoiler, leave me alone. And you know what? It's Wednesday, y'all. The drive-in has a new sign. That's gonna be part of my self-care. I'm going back to the drive-in. The drive-in Atlanta still has a drive-in theater, and apparently they got some investors, so they've been running first run. But I'm like, I ain't driving by that creepy sign. They got a new sign, so I guess everybody's gonna go. But I have found the day that can't nobody go nowhere, and that's the day. So we are going to go and get us some Dave's cheesesteaks. Y'all don't want to get in line at Dave's. Y'all don't want to support. Let me tell y'all again, shout out. No, this is why you have no regrets. For those of you that don't want to like your friend's post, don't want to share, let me shout out Stan's Smoke Signals, the barbecue place. All that barbecue that all of us, well, not just Dryer Buzz, but all of us that go over there and consistently get in line at his food truck. The one of the reasons he has a food truck is because we stood in line at his grill. We stood in line at every level of barbecue system he was operating. Now that brother has a full-on food truck. He was voted as a write-in. Y'all, let me tell y'all, first of all, it is nomination season. I have nominated everybody I know for something. I'm telling you, everybody I know and trust that don't give me no regrets. I've nominated folk, and it is award season. This is where when people say they are award winning, and all the associations now are asking for nominations. If you have not gone down your timeline and nominated your friends for stuff, so we did the write-in campaign. They of course, and this is the thing. It was in the newspaper, and they were like, "Well, if you know anybody, tell us." So all of his customers emailed them and said, "Hey, listen, here's another food truck." Not only was he a write-in, but he came in as number 3. Number 3. Not only that, when they did the write-up on his food truck, they used my quote from my nomination. So I was excited about that. But that's what this is. So don't get mad that people out there standing in line. I was so mad about what somebody said last night. I dreamed about Slutty Vegan. I dreamed about Slutty Vegan. And not only did I dream about Slutty Vegan, in that dream, I'm like, girl, you need to go change the title of that YouTube video because it's getting good numbers and I love that YouTube check. But I need to go change that title of that video because I need to make it, what they call it, evergreen. And so I need to do that. So let me go do that. But now is the time. Now is the time. Anyway, do it anyway. You know, you might look at the nomination criteria and they might say the person got to. Stan wasn't even nominated. He wasn't one of the ones they chose. They had a write-in option. Everybody went and wrote him in, and he came in number 3. So do it anyway. Do it anyway. Wake up anyway. Wake up anyway. Okay, if you wake up anyway, I guarantee you're not going to have as many regrets as you think you will. All you got to do is say yes, okay, and just wait. And just wait. When I did that, when they asked me, would I be willing to interview the widow of Bumpy Johnson, I was like, I don't even know that much about Harlem. And I literally was almost going to say, perhaps, you should get a historian or a scholar that knows about the Harlem Renaissance and that period of time, But I knew, let me tell y'all, you know why I didn't know I said yes to that interview? Ruby D. Because Ruby D, I'm not dropping name, I'm dropping game. Ruby D has said to me prior to that what I was doing in this digital arena and the power I had, that I needed to lend it to. Now, mind you, Ruby D and Bumpy and Malcolm X. See, Ruby D and Ossie Davis were blacklisted, like the blacklist that people talk about today, because they supported the civil rights movement. Moreover, they supported the Malcolm X theory of civil rights. Okay, they supported the Malcolm X side, which is people like, oh, you can't do Hollywood and you want justice for black people, right? So I just remember in the interview that I had with Ruby D and her telling me, and I had a tape recorder. And she asked me, where you gonna, where Ruby's, I'm stuttering, but because this is a moment. She said, I remember her touching my tape recorder, and asking me where was I gonna put that, and I said, I'm gonna put it online, and I will be able to. Oh no, you're fine. Go ahead. I'll be able to put the whole. She was like, how much? She's like, wait, because she was trying to get her sound bite in case. And I let her know, oh no, I'm going to run the whole thing. And she and I had this conversation. I'm like, wow, that's powerful. You got that kind of power. And she just told me going forward what I needed to do with that, how much power that was going to mean, because how much they had been silenced, and how much she just impressed upon me what I should give voice to. And so when I think about that whole Harlem Renaissance, and this was in my yes, I'm like, oh, I got to say yes to this. I got to say yes to this. I can't pass this on. I can't tell them to go do somebody else. Nobody's going to do with this what I can do with this. This is mine, right? And so I did it because I was free. I was free, y'all. And I was also associated. I was definitely associated, and now I can sit back and I can measure that, read down my list. I can measure, and I got up for a discussion. I've got bullying, malice, and intent. If you are questioning, don't question yourself. Question why you are succumbing to the bullying. And the bullying could be the thoughts in your mind or the people that are around you. There's so much bullying going on right now. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. People lead with that now, and they have malice in their heart. I was listening to a conversation the other day. I listened to a lot of stuff, and I just remember them asking about the malice and intent. The malice and the intent. I'm trying to remember what the conversation was, but I think it had to do with the immigrant population. And it's coming out now that this war that America pretends to have with immigration is basically the fact that the country is being bullied into exporting more and more jobs, okay, to the point that we're not going to have jobs over here. And so our food chain has been bullied. The bullying of the food chain started with the expansion of Walmart, because Walmart used to be, I don't know where it is at this point, which is why so many other stores have been birthed, is because in order to put items in Walmart, what did I do? I hit something. In order to put items in Walmart, you had to, y'all watch Shark Tank. Shark Tank is some of the worst bullying of some of our most innovative people. They didn't think I was going to say that, but I'm just thinking about bullying, and that's Kevin, the guy Kevin on there. You know, he is the known bully, and if he's going to give you a deal, the first thing your deal going to have to do is take whatever it is you're doing. Most people, how many people stand there on Shark Tank talking about they want to make something that's American made, and he was like, not if you want my money. You better go get it made the cheapest you can get it, right? And so that's why Trump is over there right now. They getting ready, everybody buying a Trump flag or Trump this, that. All that stuff is made in China. All of it, every bit of it. I saw this guy driving down the street. He had it in one of the big pickup trucks, so you already know. And he had in every thing, he had all these flagpoles on there, flying all these Trump flags. And I'm sitting there like, that idiot, like, you done bought all that stuff from China. Okay, and I still don't know what they want from. I still don't know what they want from Trump. Y'all had 4 years. What did you want from Trump? I know the chicken plant man down here mad because now he thought he voted for Trump because he thought Trump was going to allow him to make more chickens, but now they finna take that to China. So I wonder how. I almost want to drive down the road myself and find his chicken plant, his chicken farm, and talk to him myself. His information is out there because he did this interview, and they're gonna go back and revisit him. And I'm waiting because I want to hear that I know I'm gonna hear that he probably homeless right now because he bought this chicken farm and then voted for Trump because Trump was gonna open up all these restrictions, So he voted for Trump, and I can't wait to find out how that worked out for him because now China is bullying Trump. They want the chicken business. So now Trump, and it ain't even the office of the president. This thing ain't even, this is Congress, y'all. Some of this stuff they think they did this during the Obama. Like, oh, it's Obama's, but no, it's Congress. It's the lawmakers. Okay? It's the committees. It's the Food and Drug Administration. It's all these other entities. It ain't even the president, just the ignorant person that stands there and act like it's his office, or her, maybe one day. But it ain't even like Trump. It was like, yeah, Trump is the publicity. Trump got people. He's the one acting like he mad at. Like, why somebody came to this country to work. We kicking somebody. We gonna kick out people who want to work. And I'm not even gonna give y'all the quote unquote jobs and number. Those are not jobs. Those are not jobs that people don't want. Those are jobs people don't want to do at that pay because what they did was they got rid of the unions and the union pay, right? And so therefore, when you get rid of the union pay, you can go and do all this. That's a whole nother podcast, though. But you better watch it. The food chain. There are countries out there that want the American food chain. And not necessarily for America, but simply because what they call the Western diet is making its way around the world, which means that other countries who have more people than we have here, like China's middle class is about the size of all of America, and they have this Western diet. They now want to eat all this chicken. And so they're like, well, bring those billions of dollars over there, and they can sustain their middle class, and everything else will just trickle down to us. We are the trickle down. I'm telling you, the future is not American. I don't know how long them forefathers thought this thing was going to last, but I'm just saying. So you want to do something, you better do it anyway. All right, guys. Did we make it? We made it. 9 minutes over. I got out of bed anyway. I want you to get out of bed anyway. I want you to press play. I want you to press share. I want you to have a watch party. Oh, let me tell you. If you do have a watch party, I consulted. I'm going to find out tonight when I go to this Facebook event, and as well as tomorrow. I mean, what is it? The 10th. Facebook is in town right now. If you are part of an association or a membership or a clique, a group, or elite club, whatever, see if your organization is hosting a Facebook Boost event. And if not, go sign up for the Facebook Boost event if you want to know how to rock some of this content stuff on not just Facebook. And don't just apply it to Facebook, apply it to all platforms, because that's where this thing is going. But if you are associated, you're going to find that opportunity. Not only that, I'm going because I have a platform that I am launching on 9/27/19. 9/27. I'll be launching our Answer platform. Will be back. One of the first things you're gonna learn how to do is how to rock a podcast. I just taped my podcast live on 4 different platforms. It's then gonna syndicate to another umpteen podcast platforms. And it's a daily podcast. How do you find time to rock a daily podcast? And we had an awesome podcast just yesterday. I got to finish production on that. Leading Women podcast. We are still building that out. And we taped an episode live on that. So that's still in your timeline. But the podcast will be out today as well. And let's see what else. We did a Buzz of the Bash shit. There's some other content as well. It is September. September is pretty much, if you're still trying to chill, this is the last of the chill week, honey. It's time to get back to work. It's time to get busy. And I hope to see y'all out there doing your thing anyway. You might not have enough money. You might not have the right thing to wear. You might not know the right thing to say. You don't have a clue of what to do. Do it anyway. You can learn. Let me tell you, life is, what do you call it? On the job training. It is. I promise you it is. You have that as my promise. You are not trying it. You will not have any regrets. No, you might still have some regrets. But your regrets, do like me. That's not up for discussion. People ask me all the time, man, what happened? It's not up for discussion. Learn your talking part. Learn how to push back. There you go. Push back. Intent. Push back. It's not up for discussion. Boom. I'm going to end this podcast, guys, and it is not up for discussion. I just have one more favor. You know what that is. Do this.
Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow @DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.